You ever love somebody so much, you give them your heart, your trust, your time, everything, only to have them shatter it like it was nothing? You ever look in someone's eyes and believe, truly believe they had your back, only to find out they were the ones twisting the knife? Betrayal cuts deeper than any wound, and not every wound deserves to heal. Because some betrayals change you. They break something inside you that may never fully repair. And I'm here to tell you, there are 7 betrayals you should never forgive. Not because you're bitter, not because you hold grudges, but because some things show you exactly who a person is. And when they show you, you better believe them. Number 1, the betrayal of trust. Trust. It's the foundation of every relationship, the invisible thread that holds people together. It's the quiet certainty that allows you to close your eyes and know someone's got your back. It's the deep exhale when you share your fears, your dreams, your secrets, and you just know they will guard them like their own. But when that trust is broken, it's like the ground beneath your feet crumbling away, leaving you free falling with nothing to hold on to. There are few betrayals more devastating than the betrayal of trust. Why? Because trust isn't just given, it's built. Brick by brick, through time, through consistency, through 1,000 little moments where someone proves they are who they say they are. And when that's shattered, when you realize the person you trusted most was never worthy of it, it doesn't just break your heart, it breaks your sense of reality. Maybe you've been there. Maybe you've looked into someone's eyes that once felt safe, only to see nothing but deception staring back at you. Maybe you've replayed the moments in your mind, trying to find the signs you missed, trying to understand how you could have been so blind. But here's the truth. It's never your fault when someone chooses to betray your trust. It's on them. That's their weakness, their lack of integrity, their inability to honor something sacred. But let's talk about what betrayal of trust really looks like, because sometimes it's not as obvious as a knife in the back. Sometimes it's a slow unraveling, a series of small deceits that chip away at the foundation of what you thought was solid. Maybe it's a lie, just one at first, a little one. But lies are never really little, are they? Because that first lie, it's a test. They want to see if they can get away with it. And if they do, it won't be the last. Or maybe it's secrecy. The feeling that something is being kept from you, that conversations go quiet when you walk in the room, that phone screens are tilted away from your eyes. Maybe it's a promise that gets broken, a commitment that suddenly doesn't seem to matter anymore. Maybe it's the realization that while you were being honest, open, and vulnerable, they were playing a game. And the worst part? Betrayal of trust doesn't just make you doubt them, it makes you doubt yourself. It makes you question your own judgment. It makes you wonder if you'll ever be able to trust again, if you'll ever be able to believe in someone the way you did before. And that's the real damage. Because trust isn't just about believing in another person, it's about believing in your own ability to recognize who is worthy of that belief. So what do you do when someone betrays your trust? Do you forgive? Do you give them another chance? Do you tell yourself they didn't mean it, that they made a mistake, that it won't happen again? Let me tell you something. A mistake is when you drop a glass. Betrayal is when you throw it to the ground and watch it shatter. Some people will beg for forgiveness, not because they regret what they did, but because they regret getting caught. Some will promise to change, not because they mean it, but because they don't want to lose the benefits of being in your life. And if you let them back in, if you give them another chance after they've broken your trust, you teach them one thing: that trust isn't something sacred to you, that it can be broken and patched up with empty words. Now, I'm not saying every broken trust is beyond repair, but listen to me when I say this. Trust can be rebuilt, but it is never the same. It's like a mirror that's been shattered. You can glue the pieces back together, but you will always see the cracks. And those cracks, they remind you, they make you cautious. They make you hesitant. And maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe some betrayals aren't meant to be forgiven. Maybe they're meant to teach you who someone really is. Maybe they're meant to protect you from further harm. Because when someone betrays your trust, they are showing you their character. They are showing you what they are capable of. And if you choose to ignore that, if you choose to pretend it didn't happen, you are setting yourself up for even greater pain down the road. So don't be afraid to walk away. Don't be afraid to say, I deserve better. Because you do. You deserve people who honor their word, who protect your trust like it's something precious, because it is. You deserve relationships that feel safe, that feel steady, that don't leave you constantly questioning what's real and what's not. And if you've been betrayed, if you're sitting there right now feeling the sting of broken trust, I want you to know this. You will heal. It will take time. It will take strength. But one day you will look back and you will realize that losing someone who couldn't be trusted was never really a loss at all. It was a blessing, a lesson, a redirection to something better. Because trust is everything. And once it's broken, it's never the same. So be careful who you give it to. And never let someone who shattered it convince you they deserve another chance to do it again. Number two, the betrayal of loyalty. Loyalty is one of the rarest and most valuable things a person can give you. It's the unshakable commitment that says, I stand with you, I stand for you. Not just when it's easy, not just when it's convenient, but when it matters the most. Loyalty is the glue that holds relationships together through the storms, through the struggles, through the moments when everything seems to be falling apart. And when someone betrays that loyalty, it's not just a disappointment, it's a wound that cuts deep into the soul. See, loyalty isn't about words. Anybody can say they've got your back. Anybody can smile in your face and call you family, call you their ride or die, call you there forever. But when life gets real, when trouble knocks at your door, when the weight of the world is pressing down on you, that's when you find out who's truly loyal. That's when you see who's still standing next to you and who's already disappeared. There's nothing worse than thinking someone is in your corner only to realize they were only there when it served them. There's nothing worse than fighting for someone who wouldn't even lift a finger for you. And there's nothing more heartbreaking than discovering that the person you would have defended with your life was the one stabbing you in the back. Maybe you've experienced it. Maybe you've had someone betray you in a way you never saw coming, a best friend who walked away when things got tough, a partner who promised to be faithful but gave their loyalty to someone else behind your back, a family member who put their own interests above your bond. And when it happens, it shakes you. It makes you question everything. Loyalty isn't complicated. It's about showing up. It's about being there when you say you will be. It's about standing beside someone when the whole world is against them, not running away when the situation gets uncomfortable. A loyal person doesn't abandon you when you're at your lowest. A loyal person doesn't entertain conversations that disrespect you behind your back. A loyal person doesn't switch sides when it benefits them. And yet, betrayal of loyalty happens every single day. Maybe you confided in someone, trusted them with your secrets, only to find out they used your vulnerabilities against you. Maybe you thought you had a partner who would fight for you, but when things got rough, they gave up without a second thought. Maybe you had friends who were all smiles when times were good, but disappeared when you needed them most. Here's what you need to understand. Disloyal people are not accidents. They are choices. They don't betray you by mistake. They do it because they were never as committed to you as you were to them. And that's a painful truth to accept. But listen, you don't need people like that in your life. You don't need to keep trying to convince someone to be loyal to you. Loyalty is either in a person's character or it's not. And if they've betrayed it once, they'll do it again. The worst thing you can do is ignore the warning signs. If someone has shown you they are disloyal, if they've proven that their commitment to you is conditional, believe them. Don't excuse it. Don't justify it. And don't beg for the loyalty you deserve. Because here's the truth. Real loyalty doesn't need to be begged for. A loyal person doesn't need to be reminded to be there for you. They don't need to be convinced to stay. They don't hesitate to stand beside you whether you're winning or losing. They don't betray your trust when no one's looking. So when someone betrays your loyalty,
everyone is chasing the feeling of a win.
No matter what happens, you are all winners.
Don't argue. Don't fight to change their mind. Don't try to force them to be someone they're not. Just walk away. Because loyalty is priceless. It's rare. It's something to be valued and protected. And if someone doesn't see that, if they treat your loyalty like it's disposable, they don't deserve another chance to do it again. And I know, it's hard to accept. It's hard to let go of people you love, people you believed in. It's painful to realize that the loyalty you gave so freely was never returned. But what's even more painful? Staying in relationships where you are the only one being loyal. You deserve better than that. You deserve people who stand beside you when the road gets rough. People who don't run at the first sign of struggle. People who defend your name when you're not in the room. People who choose you every single time. So when someone betrays your loyalty, don't try to fix it. Don't chase after them. Just remember this. Disloyalty is a choice, and so is walking away from it. Number 3, the betrayal of respect. Respect. It's the foundation of every healthy relationship. It's not something you demand. It's something that should be given freely. It's in the way someone speaks to you, the way they listen, the way they treat you when no one is watching. Respect is what keeps love strong, what keeps friendship solid, what makes people feel seen, valued, and understood. And when that respect is betrayed, it doesn't just hurt, it changes you. The betrayal of respect doesn't always happen in one explosive moment. It happens in small, quiet ways, in the little things that people think don't matter. Maybe it starts with a dismissive tone, a sarcastic remark meant to put you down, a joke at your expense that feels a little too personal. Maybe it's when your opinions get brushed aside like they don't matter, when your feelings are treated as an inconvenience, when your voice isn't heard even when you're speaking loud and clear. And at first you might ignore it. You might tell yourself, it's just how they are. They didn't mean it. You make excuses for their behavior because you don't want to believe that someone you care about would disrespect you. But over time, that disrespect becomes a pattern. And once you notice it, respect isn't just about how someone treats you in public. It's about how they treat you behind closed doors. It's about whether they still value you when no one's watching, when there's no audience to impress. A person who truly respects you won't talk down to you, won't belittle your dreams, won't make you feel small just to make themselves feel bigger. But when someone betrays that respect, when they show you through their actions and their words that they don't value you the way you value them, that's a betrayal you never ignore. Maybe you've experienced it. Maybe you've been in a relationship where your partner constantly criticized you, made you feel like you were never enough, dismissed your emotions like they were a burden. Maybe you had a friend who only respected you when it benefited them, who treated you like an afterthought when they didn't need something from you. Maybe you've had family members who never saw your worth, who disrespected your choices, your boundaries, your dreams. And let me tell you something. That's not love. That's not friendship. That's not family. Love without respect is control. Friendship without respect is manipulation. Family without respect is nothing more than shared blood. And the worst part? The longer you tolerate disrespect, the more you start to believe you deserve it. You start to shrink yourself to avoid conflict, start walking on eggshells just to keep the peace. But let me remind you, respect is not a privilege, it's a basic requirement. You don't have to earn it, you don't have to beg for it, and you damn sure don't have to stay where it doesn't exist. So what do you do when someone betrays your respect? Do you argue? Do you try to make them see how they've hurt you? Do you wait for them to change? No. You recognize that respect is not something you can force. It's either there or it's not. And once it's broken, once someone has shown you that they don't see your value, you don't give them the chance to do it again. Because the truth is, people who betray your respect don't suddenly wake up one day and start treating you right. If someone disrespects you once and you let it slide, they'll do it again and again and again. And before you know it, you've accepted a life where you are never truly valued. But not anymore. Not after today. Because you deserve better. You deserve people who listen when you speak, who don't interrupt or talk over you. People who don't make you feel stupid for expressing your thoughts, who don't mock your dreams or belittle your struggles. People who treat you with kindness, with patience, with the same level of respect that you give to them. And if someone can't do that, if they consistently show you that your feelings, your opinions, your worth don't matter to them, walk away. Because the moment you stop tolerating disrespect, the moment you start demanding the respect you deserve, you change everything. You set a standard. You teach people how to treat you. You show the world that you are not someone to be talked down to, ignored, or treated as less than. Respect is not negotiable. It's not something you compromise on. It's not something you wait around for. So if someone betrays it, if someone makes you feel small, unworthy, or invisible,
thousands of affordable parts fit for your vehicle. Empty your reg now.
let them go. Because the right people, the people who truly value you, they will never make you question whether you are respected. They will show you every single day. Number 4, the betrayal of repeated mistakes. A mistake, that's something that happens once, a slip, a moment of bad judgment, a choice made in weakness or ignorance. But repeated mistakes, that's no accident. That's not a slip. That's a pattern. A pattern that tells you exactly who someone is. And when someone keeps making the same mistake over and over, they're not sorry for what they did. They're sorry they got caught. You ever forgive someone thinking it was just one bad decision, only to watch them do the same thing again and again and again? You tell yourself, they didn't mean to. They just need another chance. But how many chances are enough? How many times do you have to be hurt before you finally realize this isn't a mistake anymore? This is who they are. See, the first time someone hurts you, it's on them. They lied, they broke your trust. They disrespected you, they let you down. But the second time, the third, the fourth, that's on you. Because by then, they've already shown you that they don't value your forgiveness. They only care about the pain they're causing you. They only care that you keep letting them come back. Maybe you've been there. Maybe you've had someone swear up and down that they'd change. Maybe you've wiped your tears, nodded your head, and believed them because you wanted to, because you loved them, because you didn't want to lose them. And they promised this time would be different. And then it wasn't. See, words don't mean a damn thing without action. Apologies are meaningless when they're just a cover-up for the next mistake. And forgiveness is not a free pass to keep hurting someone. The most dangerous people aren't the ones who betray you once, they're the ones who do it again and again, because they know you'll forgive them. They know you'll give them another chance. They know you'll keep hoping they'll change. And that's how they keep you trapped. And you start questioning yourself. Am I overreacting? Am I expecting too much? Maybe they're really trying. But let me tell you something. If someone is truly sorry, they don't keep making the same mistake. They don't keep lying. They don't keep cheating. They don't keep disrespecting you, breaking your trust, making you feel like you're crazy for expecting better. A person who cares about you will do everything in their power to make sure they don't hurt you the same way twice. But a person who only cares about themselves, they'll do the bare minimum to keep you around, just enough to make you stay, but never enough to truly change. So when do you say enough? When do you stop forgiving? When do you stop believing the same old excuses? The moment you realize that their mistakes are no longer mistakes. The moment you see the pattern. The moment you understand that their apologies are nothing but words with no weight behind them. You are not a rehabilitation center for people who refuse to grow. You are not a punching bag for someone else's bad decisions. And you are not required to keep forgiving someone just because you love them. Love is not meant to be a cycle of pain and apologies. It's not supposed to feel like a test you keep failing, a game where you're always the one left hurting. Love is supposed to feel safe. It's supposed to be a place where you don't have to keep questioning whether you'll be hurt again. So if you're sitting here reading this, thinking about that one person who keeps making the same mistake, this is your sign. Stop waiting for them to change. Stop giving them chances they haven't earned. Stop believing their words when their actions keep proving otherwise. Because you deserve better. You deserve consistency, honesty, and respect. You deserve someone who doesn't just say they'll change, but actually proves it through their actions. And if they won't, if they keep betraying you, keep hurting you, keep making the same mistake over and over, walk away. Not because you're weak, not because you don't love them, but because you finally love yourself enough to stop letting them. Number 5, the betrayal of silence. Silence. Sometimes it speaks louder than words. Sometimes it's more painful than a lie, more cutting than an insult, more destructive than a broken promise. Because silence is a choice. A choice to look the other way, a choice to withhold the truth, a choice to stand by and say nothing when everything is on the line. And when someone betrays you with their silence, that wound runs deep. See, when we think of betrayal, we think of the obvious, the lies, the cheating, the deception. But sometimes betrayal doesn't come with a dramatic moment of confrontation. Sometimes it comes in the quiet, in the moments when you needed someone the most and they weren't there. In the times when they should have spoken up for you, defended you, stood beside you, and they didn't. Maybe you've been there. Maybe you've been in a situation where you thought someone had your back, only to find out they were nowhere to be found when you needed them. Maybe you trusted someone with the truth, with your pain, with your struggles, and instead of standing by you, they stood in silence. They let people misunderstand you. They let lies be told about you. They let you suffer alone. When all it would have taken was one word, one action, one moment of courage to show you that you mattered. But they said nothing. They did nothing. And that's betrayal. Because silence isn't neutral. Silence is a choice. Silence when someone is being wronged is a form of betrayal. It's standing on the sidelines while someone you claim to care about gets hurt. It's choosing comfort over courage, fear over loyalty, apathy over love. And when someone does that to you, when they let you face the fire alone, that's not a person you can trust.
Can't see the road ahead? We fit bulbs and wiper blades while you wait. Halfords Motoring Club Premium members get a fitting included and 5% off. Plus an MOT at no extra cost. Join in-store or online today for $4.99 a month.
Maybe you had a friend who stayed quiet when people talked behind your back. Maybe you had a partner who saw you hurting and chose to say nothing, do nothing, be nothing. Maybe you had family members who watched you struggle, who saw you breaking, and instead of reaching out, instead of showing up, they just let it happen. And that silence, it told you everything you needed to know. Because real love, real loyalty, real friendship, it speaks. It stands up. It defends. It doesn't sit back while you suffer. It doesn't stay quiet when your name is being dragged through the dirt. It doesn't let you walk through fire alone. And here's the hard truth. The people who remain silent when you need them the most were never truly with you. If they were, they wouldn't hesitate. They wouldn't second guess standing up for you. They wouldn't leave you questioning their loyalty. And yet we still make excuses for them, don't we? We tell ourselves maybe they didn't know what to say. Maybe they didn't want to get involved. Maybe they didn't realize how much it hurt me. But deep down, we know. We know that if the roles were reversed, if it was them who needed defending, standing up for, protecting, we would have done it without hesitation. Because when you truly care about someone, you don't stay silent. So why do we keep forgiving the ones who did? Why do we keep holding space in our lives for people who refuse to show up for us when we needed them most? The truth is, we want to believe they care. We want to believe that their silence wasn't a choice, that they simply didn't know how to handle the situation. But let me tell you something. When someone cares, they find a way. When someone values you, they don't hesitate. And when someone truly has your back, their voice will be the loudest in the room when you need them. So if someone betrayed you with their silence, if they watched you struggle and did nothing, if they let you fight alone when they could have stood beside you, don't ignore that. Don't brush it off. Don't make excuses for it. Because people who stay silent once will stay silent again. And the next time, it might be even worse. You deserve people who speak up, people who defend your name when you're not there, people who don't just say they're with you, but prove it with their actions. And if someone has shown you that their silence speaks louder than their loyalty, if they have betrayed you by doing nothing when they should have done everything, then it's time for you to be the one who stays silent. Not out of fear, not out of hesitation, but because you finally learned that some betrayals don't deserve a second chance. So let them go. Let their silence be the last thing they ever give you, and surround yourself with people who will never ever leave you standing alone in the fire. Number 6, the betrayal of dreams. Dreams. They are the fire inside you, the vision that keeps you moving forward, the purpose that makes every struggle, every sacrifice, every sleepless night worth it. Your dreams are a part of you. They are the essence of who you are meant to be. And when someone betrays your dreams, that betrayal is personal. It's deeper than words, deeper than actions. It's an attack on your very soul. See, when you have a dream, you don't just want people to tolerate it. You want them to believe in it. You want them to see what you see, to feel what you feel, to stand beside you as you chase it. But not everyone will. And some will do everything in their power to crush it. Maybe you've experienced it. Maybe you've had a vision for your life, a goal, a passion that lit up your soul. And instead of support, you were met with doubt, with laughter, with dismissive comments like, "That's unrealistic. You'll never make it. Why don't you try something more practical?" And at first you shake it off. You tell yourself they don't understand. But the more you hear it, the more that voice of doubt starts creeping into your own mind. What if they're right? What if I'm wasting my time? What if I fail? And that's the betrayal. Because the people around you, the ones who are supposed to uplift you, encourage you, believe in you, are the very ones planting seeds of doubt. They don't see your vision, so they try to make sure you never reach it. They don't understand your passion, so they convince you it's foolish. And before you know it, you start shrinking your own dreams just to fit inside their limited mindset. And let me tell you something. Nothing is more dangerous than allowing someone else's small mind to limit your big dreams. Because here's the truth. People who betray your dreams were never meant to come with you on your journey. They were never meant to understand what was inside of you. Because if they were, they would have never tried to stop you. They would have encouraged you. They would have celebrated your ambition. They would have reminded you in your lowest moments why you started in the first place. But instead, they doubted, they discouraged, they dismissed. And maybe they thought they were helping. Maybe they convinced themselves they were just keeping you grounded. But listen to me. Anyone who truly loves you will not try to keep you grounded. They will help you fly, because real love supports. Real love believes. Real love pushes you forward, never holds you back. So what do you do when someone betrays your dreams? When they tell you it's impossible? When they laugh at your goals? When they make you feel like your passion isn't worth pursuing? You remember that it's your dream, not theirs. They don't have to see the vision. They don't have to believe in it. You do. You stop looking for validation from people who were never meant to understand your purpose. You stop explaining yourself to those who have already made up their minds about your potential. And most importantly, you stop shrinking your dreams just to make them comfortable. Because the saddest thing in life is not failing. The saddest thing is letting go of a dream because someone else convinced you that you couldn't do it. So if someone has betrayed your dreams, if they have doubted you, discouraged you, made you question yourself, let them go. Let them watch from the sidelines as you prove them wrong. Because one day they'll see. One day they'll realize that the dream they tried to kill was the very thing that made you unstoppable. Number 7, the betrayal of love itself. Love. It's the most powerful force in the universe. It's what moves mountains, heals wounds, and makes life worth living. It's the one thing that, when real, can bring out the best in us, inspire us to dream bigger, love harder, and fight for something greater than ourselves. Love is supposed to be safe. It's supposed to be a shelter, a home, a place where you can rest, where you don't have to fight to be seen, to be valued, to be chosen. But when love itself is betrayed, when the very thing that was meant to protect you, to hold you, to nurture you, turns around and destroys you, that kind of betrayal doesn't just break your heart. It breaks your spirit. It changes the way you see love, the way you trust, the way you allow yourself to believe in something beautiful ever again. Because when love is real, it's not supposed to hurt like that. It's not supposed to leave you questioning your worth, doubting your instincts, second-guessing every good thing that ever happened between you and another person. Love, true love, isn't supposed to be a battlefield where only one of you is left standing. But when someone betrays love itself, when they take something sacred and treat it like it's replaceable, like it's nothing, it leaves scars, deep ones, the kind that don't just fade with time. Maybe you've been there. Maybe you know what it's like to give your whole heart to someone, to love them with every piece of you, only to watch them throw it away like it meant nothing. Maybe you've been the one who stayed up at night, replaying every conversation, every moment, trying to figure out where it all went wrong. Maybe you believed in their promises, believed in the way they looked at you, the way they held you, the way they swore they would never hurt you. And yet they did. Maybe it was a lie that cut too deep, a betrayal so sharp it felt like you'd never recover. Maybe it was the moment you realized that they weren't who they said they were, that the love they gave you was conditional, temporary, convenient. Maybe it was when they made you feel small, like you were just another option instead of the only one. And the worst part, it's not just about what they did. It's about what it did to you. Because when love is betrayed, it doesn't just hurt in the moment. It lingers. It gets inside your mind, inside your heart, making you doubt yourself in ways you never did before. It makes you wonder if you're even worthy of love, if you're too much, if you're not enough. It makes you build walls so high that even the right person might never be able to get through. It turns your softness into stone, your hope into hesitation. It makes you guarded, cautious, afraid to give your heart away again because you don't know if you can survive another heartbreak like the last one. And that is the real tragedy of love's betrayal. Because love, real love, was never the enemy. Love didn't betray you, a person did. A person who didn't know how to love you the way you deserved. A person who took your love and treated it like it was something disposable, something they could walk away from without looking back. But that was their failure, not yours. See, when someone betrays love itself, they don't just lose you. They lose the chance to experience the kind of love that only comes once in a lifetime. The kind of love that is patient, kind, unwavering. The kind of love that fights for you, not against you. The kind of love that doesn't run at the first sign of trouble. And when they throw that away, that's on them. But you still have a choice. You can let their betrayal turn you cold. You can let it convince you that love isn't real, that no one is worth trusting, that you're better off alone. You can let it harden you, make you bitter, make you swear you'll never open your heart again. Or you can refuse to let one person's failure define the way you love. You can choose to heal. You can choose to believe that love is still out there, that the right person will show up, that one broken love story doesn't mean they all end the same way. Because the greatest victory over betrayal is refusing to let it steal your ability to love. It's easy to close off. It's easy to say, I'll never let anyone hurt me like that again. It's easy to shut the door on love and convince yourself that you don't need it, that you're better off without it, that you're strong enough to go through life alone. But let me tell you something. Real strength isn't in shutting love out. Real strength is in letting love in, even after it's betrayed you. Because the right love, the real love, it's out there. And it won't make you question yourself. It won't make you feel small. It won't ask you to beg for attention, for effort, for honesty. It won't betray you. It will choose you every single day without hesitation. But you will never find it if you let the pain of the past convince you that love isn't worth the risk. So if someone has betrayed love itself, if they have taken the purest thing you had to give and treated it like it was nothing, let them go. Let them live with the regret of knowing that they lost something rare, something real, something they will never find again. Because one day they'll see. One day they'll look back and realize that the love they betrayed was the love they always needed, the love they couldn't match, the love they weren't strong enough to hold on to. But by then, it'll be too late.
Thousands of affordable parts fit for your vehicle.
Because you will have moved on. You will have healed. You will have found a love that doesn't need to be questioned, doesn't need to be chased, doesn't need to be begged for. And when that day comes, you'll realize that losing them wasn't the tragedy you once thought it was. It is the best thing that ever happened to you. Betrayal is one of the deepest pains a person can experience, not because of the act itself, but because of who committed it. See, betrayal doesn't come from strangers. It comes from the people we trusted, the ones we loved, the ones we thought would never hurt us. And that's what makes it so devastating. It's not just about losing a relationship, a friendship, or a connection. It's about losing faith in people, in love, in loyalty. But here's what you need to understand. Not all betrayals deserve forgiveness. Some betrayals run too deep. Some betrayals show you exactly who a person is. And when that happens, you have a choice. You can ignore it, excuse it, allow it to happen again, or you can open your eyes, stand up for yourself, and walk away from the people who have proven they don't deserve to be in your life. Because the truth is, forgiveness is a gift, and not everyone deserves it. Never forgive the betrayal of trust, because once someone shatters that, it will never be the same again. You'll always wonder, always question, always feel that nagging doubt in the back of your mind. And trust, that's the foundation of every relationship. Without it, there's nothing. Never forgive the betrayal of loyalty. Because loyalty isn't something you should have to beg for. If someone betrays you when your back is turned, if they choose others over you when it matters the most, then they've shown you exactly where you stand in their life. Believe them. Never forgive the betrayal of respect, because respect is not optional. It's not something that should be given only when it's convenient. If someone belittles you, disregards your feelings, makes you feel small, that's not love. That's control. And you deserve better. Never forgive the betrayal of repeated mistakes. Because one mistake is a lesson, but the same mistake over and over, that's a choice. People who truly care about you don't just apologize, they change. And if they refuse to change, never forgive the betrayal of silence, because silence is a choice. When someone sees you suffering and does nothing, when they watch as others disrespect you and say nothing, when they let you fight battles alone that they could have stood beside you for, that's betrayal. And the ones who remain silent when you need them most will always remain silent. Never forgive the betrayal of your dreams, because your dreams are part of who you are. If someone mocks them, dismisses them, tries to shrink them, they are not for you. The right people will believe in your vision, even when it's just a seed. But the wrong people, they will try to kill it before it even grows. Never forgive the betrayal of love itself, because love is sacred. It is not meant to be played with, taken for granted, or used as a weapon. If someone betrays your love, manipulates your heart, makes you feel like you are too much or not enough, let them go. Because real love will never make you question your worth. And after all this, after every betrayal, after every heartbreak, after every disappointment, remember this: you are not weak for leaving. You are not cruel for refusing to forgive. You are not wrong for choosing yourself. Some betrayals don't deserve a second chance. Some people don't deserve another opportunity to break you, because forgiveness without change is just permission. So choose wisely, protect your heart, guard your peace, and never, ever tolerate a betrayal that cost you your trust, your dreams, your dignity, or your love. Because the right people, they will never betray you in the first place. Thank you.